What's up guys, this is Mike Loris, and more Dota 2 is going to be coming your way with Skane's Elit on the Radiant and MYM. On the Dire side, the band's looking pretty normal. TA, Darkseer, and Rubik still like really powerful heroes in this new era. You know, they unfortunately for the viewers, they have not been changed all that much since the .75 era, and the Wisp is mostly a tailored band to Skane's Elit, so that explains pretty much everything. Skane's Elit going to open up with the Leshrac, and didn't I just cast one today that had this? I'm pretty sure I did. Okay, this one and the two before it, I casted today. And it was Skane's Elit versus someone, and I don't know who it was. It was GDB. GDB, I'm pretty sure. And this is the exact same thing. So apparently, these heroes are now the ones you pick up. Because, well, Jakiro is just a fantastic support hero. Leshrac, so versatile. And of course, Chen is Chen. He's been around in Dota for pretty much forever. It's really hard to balance him just because he takes neutral creeps, and neutral creeps are so powerful in the early game, and even in the mid game, they could still be very annoying. So Chen has been around in Dota forever. Leshrac and Jakiro, not so much actually. I know that Jakiro, in the whole grand scheme of things, is well, he's newer than Leshrac and Chen, I believe. I think he came out like right around the right before Priestess of the Moon, I want to say. Mirana, I don't know. That's when I started playing, or like right before Mirana came out. I think that was the first new hero. No, I don't even remember anymore. I don't care either. Skane's Elit gonna go for the Venomancer support plus the Tiny. So a classic Skane's Elit hero, and really they have a lot of support to go with that Tiny. Tiny's Avalanche is really easy to hit, really just without any setup. Like, it's comes out really quickly. It's not exactly like a Split Earth where you take about 1,000,000 years to raise your arms and lower them. So they're gonna go with that Tiny Venomancer combo most likely. Whether or not they want to add in a Leshrac to that lane, it's really up to them. It would make the lane have a lot more kill potential, but of course, Leshrac and Venomancer will have to have a lot of pulling in order to get the experience they need. So now Skane's Elit, they have a very gank-heavy lineup, so let's see if they're going to go for an additional hard carry hero, or if they're going to go for something like a CK, so have the Tiny and CK be the late-game heavy hitters after having some early-game dominance. And that would really give their team a very well-rounded aspect. MYM, on the other hand, they're going to have a lot of pushing power right now. They do have the Chen, which of course always brings a whole lot to the table. Jakiro's Liquid Fire, although people don't really level it all that much. Usually the priority is Ice Path, with the secondary being Dual Breath. You do have that pretty substantial slow, even 1 point, really 20% slow on a tower is pretty darn good. And then Lone Druid, Spirit Bear with that Demolish could take down towers extremely quickly. Skane's Elit, their pushing isn't that bad either. I mean, they have an Edict, they have a Plague Ward from the Venomancer, plus Tiny's Toss also deals tower damage. So both teams could push very aggressively and could take down towers fairly easily. Of course, you know, both teams do have the same kind of counter push because of their pushing. There's not really any Broodmother effect going there, where she's a great pusher but not a great counter pusher. All the heroes on the map basically all the heroes in the game could counter push fairly decently. We have some more bans coming out. Looks like both sides are looking to ban out some of those long lane heroes. We see the Bounty Hunter, Tide Hunter, plus the Windrunner there. Really, who else are you going to ban out? Beastmaster is the Beastmaster and Broodmother, I guess. The only long lane heroes left. Enigma is also available to ban. Naga Siren is being banned out for MYM. So they know that Skane's Elit, they might want to run this Tiny as a sort of mid-game hero, kind of like the TA, have him power through the early mid-game, and by doing that, you provide protection to the hard carry, whether it be the Naga Siren, Anti-Mage, whoever really. And then they get a lot of farm, and then Tiny will ramp up into the late game with his Aghanim Scepter and hitting things build, and then you have that primary carry to do kind of the same thing. Skane's Elit gonna ban out that Doombringer. I haven't seen Doombringer in a game yet. In this .75 era, I kind of want to see him because I personally haven't seen him in any of my games. Actually, it's kind of weird. He apparently can jungle really well now. Who knew, right? Doombringer jungle. But unfortunately, we're not going to see that today. Enigma is also going to get the ban stick, so he's not going to be into the jungle. Really, MYM, they have a fair monopoly on the jungle heroes. Enchantress is the only one that Skane's Elit could really pick up. That would probably force Leshrac, I would say, out of the tri-lane, unless they want to run some sort of weird tiny mid. And it's not that weird, just usually teams know how to deal with a tiny mid, and it only works in pub games, pretty much. But now Skane's Elite, let's see what they want to do. If they pick up a hard carry, that usually means that they will try to pour on the pressure early on with Tiny. If not, then they would just pour on the pressure early with Tiny. Pour on the pressure with Tiny anyway, because Tiny's amazing. But also, go for a little bit more of a reserved Tiny, get a lot of movement speed, get a lot of attack speed, get that Aghanim Scepter up. They're going to opt for the Queen of Pain, so that is going to be their mid lane solution. In Skane's Elite, they still kind of lack a long lane hero. I'm assuming that these three heroes right here are going to be going on to the safe lane. And by doing that, they'll give Tiny a lot of experience, a lot of gold, a lot of easy farm. Of course, they could run an aggressive tri-lane on the top lane and then try to catch whoever's going to be up there by MYM. Most likely going to be that Lone Druid, possibly supported by these two. Lone Druid does have pretty much the most flexibility in the game, however, as far as where he's going to go. He could go into long lane, he could go into the mid lane, he could even go into the jungle. It really doesn't matter where he goes, so it's a little bit hard to predict where that Lone Druid is going to end up if you're Skane's Elite. But either way, they should be able to deal with him relatively decently. MYM, they might want to run him on that bot lane because, well, there's not many other great solo hard lane heroes left. Beastmaster, Broodmother really are the only ones, and even then, you don't really want to run a Broodmother against Tiny, Queen of Pain, Leshrac, just because the spiders will give so much gold now that they have been nerfed. So they might want to opt to run the Lone Druid there. Pick up someone like a CK to lane with Jakiro. It's a pretty solid lane combination. Chaos Bolt into the Ice Path is a guaranteed... How much time is that? So let's say 2 seconds. Well, why not? 2 seconds. That's a guaranteed 4 seconds by the time the levels get up there. But their pick instead is going to be the Puck. So that's probably going to be their mid lane hero, or at least some type of soloing hero. Puck versus Queen of Pain. I mean, if Puck could dodge a lot of Queen of Pain's damage, but the thing is with Queen of Pain is that she could constantly pour on the damage, and Skane's Elite, they're going to go with the Broodmother. It still is going to be a little bit rough for them, for the Broodmother, because of that Jakiro Puck, a lot of AoE damage, but in the Puck versus Queen of Pain dynamic, Queen of Pain does have a better attack animation. She does have a lot more mobility. That's kind of constant. Puck's mobility comes in bursts with that illusory orb. And despite the fact that Puck does have a silence and phase shift to dodge out a potential Scream of Pain or even a Sonic Wave, just the constant harassment from Queen of Pain will be pretty annoying to the Puck. But it's really all going to boil down, however, to how well he can get the last hits and how well his phase shifts are. But the Broodmother pickup from Skane's Elite is going to signify that most likely there is going to be Leshrac, Venomancer, Tiny Lane somewhere. Of course, Broodmother could slide down to the bot lane, then they could do the tri-lane up on top. But I think the mid lane is pretty much set with these two heroes. MYM, they have a carry hero in the Lone Druid. Of course, whenever you pick a Lone Druid, it's kind of not really a hard carry, although he is a great carry hero. He is going to be played like a hard carry this game. Just the fact that he goes for Radiance, and then you kind of want to be active around the map once you get to that point. It makes for a little bit of a different dynamic. But MYM, they're going to last pick Sand King, get another guaranteed stun, try to lock down that Queen of Pain. And they do have quite a bit of disable. They have a silence from Puck, and of course a Dream Coil for the mini stunner. It's not that much, but still. Balsam has the Entangle and Ice Path, and now Burrow Strike. Queen of Pain is going to have a tough time getting away from the enemy team. That'll also give them a fair amount of team fight. Their team fight is not that bad. Syllabear is one of the bulkiest heroes in the game, of course, once he gets to his upper levels. So they'll just be able to stand and fight, whereas Skane's Elite, their carry, most likely is going to be in this Tiny. It's being played by Region, their hard carry hero, so we might see a Tiny that's going to go for Phase Boots, Drums, and then an Aghanim Scepter. He's being supported by the Leshrac Mini. In the mid lane, it is going to be Techno Boy. Looks like Fishbone might support him, or might just do a little bit of the Sentry Ward action. Wagamama is heading towards the top lane as the Broodmother, and I kind of want to see a Dagging Queen of Pain. I would like to see that very much. Fries is going to be playing that Chen Balsam on the Lone Druid. Atsy is going to be playing the Jakiro Calculus on the Puck, and following up in the rear is going to be Quix as the Sand King. They're all on this top lane, although it probably isn't going to last. MYM, I don't know, this Lone Druid might get this. It is Balsam, so he's probably going to get this top lane safe farm. That, of course, will mean that Quix will go down to the bot lane. The Sand King on the bot lane is a very unhappy Sand King. He's going to be up against Region plus Mini. Mini is going to do everything in his power to make sure that the Sand King doesn't get much. And even if he does step up to the lane, this Tiny could duel him pretty evenly. Like, Tiny has 0 armor, which is, it's 2 less than the Sand King. But still, Tiny has a lot more kill potential than the Sand King does, quite honestly. He already does have enough stats just by his item choice to get both the Avalanche and Toss out by the time he hits level 2. And that can do a lot of damage to the Sand King. It won't kill him until the Avalanche Toss gets to, unless the Tiny gets to about like level 5 or 6 even. But at that point, the Sand King has got to be careful because an Avalanche Toss combo will do him in, especially if Mini is there to support. Fishbone might support the top lane Wagamama. She's going straight for a Soul Ring, so she could try to get some of those spammed out. Oh no, there's going to be a lane shift. Okay, Balsam's going to be on the hard lane, okay. And Quicks is on the top lane as the Sand King with supported by the Jakiro, so it's going to be a farming Sand King instead. Interesting. Balsam's trying to get some of the creep pulling, but it's too late. The creeps have already clashed, so Region's job is to keep the creep wave right here. Because you know what Balsam's getting? Absolutely nothing. He's going to try to pull the creep wave into the tower. May or may not work. That'll dictate whether or not he gets a single wave of experience. Atsy and Quicks are going to go up against Waga and Fishbone on this top lane. The Venomancer has to be very careful, because the Burrow Strike potential plus the Ice Path, that's a lot of lockdown time, and the Venomancer isn't exactly the strongest hero on the map. Wagamama, the Broodmother, isn't the strongest hero at this stage in the game either, and we already have a smoke gang coming out from Rise. They want to go Fishbone. Ice Path is going to hit. Burrow Strike as well. Net from the Troll. A little bit stacking up as far as the stuns go, but the body blocking should be enough. It is enough, and Quicks picks up the first blood. Quicks picks up a very quick Quick's first blood on Fishbone. Okay, no, I'm not. Yeah, okay. Okay, but a smoke gang from Rise very, very early. Pulse had no idea that was happening. I'm going to call Skane's Elite Pulse. I think after this game, Skane's Elite are going to be known as Pulse. Don't care if it's inaccurate. Do not care. That's what's happening. So already a first blood being drawn. Going to be put onto the Sand King. Sand King is most likely going to go into Arcanes, then a Blink Dagger. Then he can try to get some of those epicenters off in Waga. He's got to be careful not to feed too many of these Spiderlings to the Sand King. Sand King could go for 1 or 2 points at the Caustic Finale. And really, Sand King versus Broodmother, that's a pretty classic lineup for the Sand King. Usually you do get a couple of points of Caustic Finale. The dynamic has kind of changed, seeing as though he does, the Broodmother does have a support in the Venomancer. So the Sand King isn't going to be so easily dealt with. The Sand King isn't going to deal with the Broodmother that easily. But still, I feel like 1 or 2 points at the Caustic Finale will benefit the Sand King pretty much a lot more than the Sandstorm. Let's see how this mid lane is doing. Calculus is 7-1 versus the 4-6 for the Queen of Pain. So a lot more denies on the Queen of Pain, but a lot more creep kills on the puck. Using that illusory orb. Does he have a bottle? He does now have a bottle. There we go. And Queen of Pain, she went for a straight Null Talisman. That's why, okay, that's why they said no Dagon, please. Of course, Null Talisman is a great item for Queen of Pains, just because she struggles early on with her mana problems. But the fact that Techno Boy has a couple more denies than Calculus means that he's going to be a higher level, but Calculus is going to have a little bit more dough, so that's, I don't know, probably going to benefit the Queen of Pain just a little bit, being a lot more XP reliant than she is gold reliant, and really both these heroes don't use gold all that well. I mean, yes, Blink Dagger is nice, having power treads and all that good stuff on the Queen of Pain is nice, but they don't really need it. Levels is really the only thing that they need. Spot lane, of course, is going to go in favor of Region 16 for 5 versus 6 for 0, so I guess Balsam managed to pull about a wave and a half into his tower. But Balsam's still farming really well. He's probably going to head towards a Bracer Drum. In the top lane, Atsy's getting worked down by some of the spiders. He's going to take a Gale as well. And is that ward going to block anything? No, it is not. Atsy's going to slip right on by, but he's still got to be careful. 100 HP is left on this Twin-Headed Dragon. One more Spiderling. Not enough mana. He actually went for a Ring of Basilius. Huh. Well, sure, why not? I mean, Ring of Basilius isn't bad on Broodmother. You would think that he would want to go straight for the Soul Ring, you know, get these as fast as possible. But when he started off with a Ring of Protection, I kind of figured it was going to be Tranquil Boots or something like that. Not a Ring of Basilius. That might mean they're looking to push. I mean, they do have the Plague Wards, they do have Spiderlings eventually, but with Sand King, oh no, Sand King's going to get a Burst Strike onto Fishbone. Fishbone is going to fall for a second time. Another gank from Rise, completely not spotted out by the Pulse squad, and Fishbone, unfortunately, takes another death. We might see a kill on the bottom lane, though. Balsam going to try to juke out that Edict. Split Earth is going to be very hard to hit. Balsam going to get tossed up into the air. Split Earth going to miss, but Balsam's going to fall anyway. The right clicks from Tiny is going to be enough to do him in. So Tiny gets 1 kill on the top lane. Who got the kills in the... Tiny's going to get 1 kill on the bot lane, I'm sorry. And the kills are split 1-to-1 with the Jakiro and the Sand King. So Pulse is behind in kills. They did lose the first blood. They just got a very important kill on the Tiny. The more kills the Tiny gets, the better he gets snowball into late game. And really, Skane's Elite squad, they're all about the snowballing. MYM, they just got to go slow and steady. They need this Lone Druid to get farm. And if he doesn't get farmed, then they're going to be pretty much screwed in the late game, where Regen is going to have pretty much everything that he needs. Avalanche Split Earth is going to hit onto Balsam. He's going to just take right clicks until he's going to die. Tiny gets another kill. And now the bear is down for another 120 seconds, so Lone Druid is pretty much... he was already handicapped in the lane, but now he's like handicapped in all aspects of the word. He won't be able to do anything on this lane except for try to leech some experience, but even then, I mean, like, he was playing it cautiously, but phase boots on the Tiny just ran right up, clipped him with the edge of the Avalanche, and then everything that Mini had to offer was enough to bring down that Lone Druid. So MYM, I mean, they're getting the early game advantage on their early game heroes, which is great. I mean, it's always good to have an advantage in some case, but Skane's Elite, the kills that they're getting is going on to their late game, so they're probably gearing up to look a little bit better once the game gets to that stage. That is, unless the Lone Druid makes something magical happen, finds a relic or something, but he doesn't have much gold. 6 creep kills, he's the second least gold per minute, right behind the support Venomancer, who died twice. Wagwan has got to be careful about feeding so many Spiderlings. 2 or 3 died there, and they're all giving up quite a bit of dough. So Waga can't afford to really throw those away. Quicks has yet to pick up any points with Caustic Finale. That would have given him like a lot of gold. A lot of gold. But hey, sometimes you just don't want to get Caustic Finale. Mini has moved up to this top lane. Looking to get a kill onto Quicks possibly. There's a Sentry Ward being dropped. Quicks is going to take a lot of EF damage. He's going to Burrow Strike plus Epicenter right onto Mini. Mini is going to go down, I feel. He is trying to survive with the Magic Stick charges, but it's not going to be enough. Quicks barely takes him down. Calculus has arrived to this top lane. Get dropped Dream Coil onto Fishbone, as well as the Waning Rift. Fishbone tries to finish off Quicks before he dies, but it is not enough. 50 HP on the Sand King's survival. Wagwan is going to get hit by another Ice Path. Now going to take a Silence as well. Where's the Illusory Orb? There is mana for it. Is it going to hit Waga? Don't run into that. There you go. Wagwan is still spotted out, but he should be fine. No more mana on Atsy. Split the Ice Path. Not going to hit. And Waga just barely lives by the skin of his teeth. But Skane's Elite do end up losing 2 more, but the 2 that they're losing are the support heroes, so it's not really a big deal. Whereas MYM, the hero they're losing, is the Lone Druid. And the heroes that's gaining it is Regen, the Tiny. So Skane's Elite, even though they are 2 kills behind, the distribution of the kills is still in favor of them. But really, 2 kill advantage at this point in the game doesn't mean much at all, especially since really the Queen of Pain has yet to come out and play. She has now her Scream of Pain max plus Sonic Wave. Calculus with 1 point of phase shift could block a Scream of Pain. But not that time. Not that time. Queen of Pain is probably going to have to be active around the map soon, or relatively soon. If she keeps farming all day, it's not really going to be beneficial for her. Looks like Waga on the top lane taking a lot more damage from Quicks. Going to be able to regenerate pretty quickly, level 3 on the webs, plus the regeneration coming in from the Soul Ring. So he's pretty much fine. Oh, Avalanche. Going to completely whiff. Regen. Got to watch out for that Centaur. Mini and Regen now have 3 heroes to deal with, as the one to teleport in is the Jakiro. That Ice Path is only level 1 actually. He went for a heavy nuking build. That's really what I love about Jakiro, is that you have so much flexibility. Regen, gotta be careful. Split Earth, cancelled. Good use of mana management from Mini, recognizing that he had no chance of hitting that Split Earth. Just cancelled it. Why not? It takes a million years to cast, but I guess the only good thing about it is that you have a million years to cancel it off. So, win-win? Possibly? No, probably not. It's a really shitty animation. I hate it. Looks like Pulse is going to push onto this mid lane, at least pressure some heroes from this bot lane up. Rise with the Centaur and Balsam with the Bear, although it is a very low level Bear. No level 3, but at this point it should be level 4 if he was getting easy, and if he had an easy time. Atsy also does have Liquid Fire, so this tower is going to take a good deal of damage. Calculus has moved into the mid lane. He's going to defend that, and top lane still being top lane. I feel like Skane's Elite, they don't have enough heroes on the map right now. It is a 2v1 in this situation in this mid lane, but Puck is just so slippery and so difficult to kill. Whereas the bot lane, I mean, they gave up on the push. They push it down a little bit. Region got sufficiently scared, and now they're all going to move up to the mid lane. They can go for another kill on Fishbone. Venomancer is going for the Malka Ward, possibly. That would be pretty cool. I don't think we've had another recipient of that. Although, yeah, there's one that was close. I don't remember what it was, but they ended up losing, which kind of sucked. I think it was Malk, actually, who went for the really lots of deaths, Venomancer. Like, I know that was him the first time. It's called the Malk Award, but even the second time, the one I was casting, it was Malk again. Tiny has yet to leave this bot lane. He's going to be on his way to a drum after Phase Boots plus Magic Wand. Mini is here to support him. The bear on the front line, it's going to be really hard to get Edict damage onto this tower just because the bear is going to be soaking up a lot of that DPS. So we have a little bit of a lull this game. Both teams kind of just managing their lanes. Let's see how Rise is farming. Rise, 15 for 2. Not much gold per minute on the Chen, actually. He's been moving around quite a bit. Whenever you do that as the Chen, your farm is going to suffer. That means a slower mech. Avalanche onto Balsam, but Region gets entangled in the tower, plus a cold path, ice path. And Tiny gets a little bit caught out fishing. He was like sitting at low health anyway. Oh, they wanted to get the tower. That's what that was. The tower does get denied as Queen of Pain dives for the Chen kill in the middle lane. This tower is not going to get denied. Skane's Elit bring down 2 towers. One of them does get denied, unfortunately for them. They're still doing pretty okay. Let's see if Quicks is going to go for a Baller Epicenter. Here's the Baller Epicenter. Burrow Strike in. He's going to land a couple pulses, and it is going to be enough to kill off the Techno Boy. Good work by Quicks. 4th kill. Wow. This Sand King really doing work this game. Walga going to get long range eject onto Atsy and kill him off. Constant harassment from that Soul Ring. Even went for Aquila on the Broodmother. Usually you don't see this many early game items being picked up by the Broodmother. I guess she wants to push really hard. The aura is up, so the Broodmother is looking to make things happen. And of course, while I'm talking about that, there is a trade on the bot lane, 1 for 1. The Shrek for the Lone Druid, so it's obviously going to favor Pulse, especially since they're going to get a double here. Region getting 2 kills, now 4 to 1 on himself. And a 4-kill Tiny is a lot more valuable than a 4-kill Sand King. Sand King almost does have his Blink Dagger, which is great, but Tiny could mess you up so badly. Quicks is now in a little bit of trouble. Gonna get Daggoned! Oh, yes, Techno Boy. I love you, Techno Boy. Dagging on the Queen of Pain. You know, MYM, they said that they didn't want it, but they got it. I feel like if they didn't say anything, they probably wouldn't have to deal with it. But the Sand King definitely was surprised. I was surprised, too. Gotta watch out for this Queen of Pain now. Maxed out Blink, maxed out Scream of Pain, and a level 1 Dagon. That's the good stuff. And like right before, I was saying how the Queen of Pain wasn't reliant on gold, but you know what? This is a way to make her reliant on gold. Add Dagon to her core item build. Get that shit to level 5, and then people are going to die all over the place. Smoke instantly canceled off the Gale, missing though by Fishbone. Ice Path is going to hit onto 2, plus all the spells from Atsy, really hitting onto all 3 of them. Atsy is going to drop, but in exchange for Leshrac, fairly even trade there. The Wagmama now does have a sizable spider army. Balsam is trying to chase down Fishbone with the help of Calculus. Illusory Orb is going to not kill him as Quicks does arrive onto the scene and get that kill. Skane's Elit dropping 2, really because of that missed Gale. And then Jakiro, he does a ton of damage, guys. Level 4 on the Dual Breath, plus a Macro Pyre, plus an Ice Path on top of that. Liquid Fire even doing a little bit of damage over time as well. Jakiro is a support hero with a lot of power behind him. And oftentimes people just forget that. I mean, Jakiro is a pretty heavy nuker, I would say. The fact that he doesn't have any gold experience, or hardly gold experience, the fact that he doesn't have any gold income most of the times, people are like, oh, he's not a threat. But no, Jakiro will mess you up if you line up like that. And, well, they lined him up. And then, of course, the Fire Blasts came through. So Jakiro is now a Hellion. Unfortunately, he only has a little bit of Blue Flame. The upgrade kind of fell out halfway through. Mini has got to be careful. Calculus does have his entire arsenal. Is he going to go for a kill on this Leshrac? Leshrac does pop off the Edict Illusory Orb. Plus, this Waning Rift does hit. But he's not going to drop the Dream Coil. If he did, it would have been a guaranteed kill, but he wants to hold on to that. Dream Coil doesn't have the longest cooldown in the world. but I guess he just wanted to save that Techno Boy. Gotta watch out for True Sight. There is no True Sight. Oh, there is True Sight on Jakiro. Regen gonna dive right in for Quicks and take a Bro Strike plus an Epicenter. Regen is gonna try to do what he can before he does go down. Sonic Wave onto 2, plus a Screen of Plane, plus a Dagon is gonna get Techno Boy a double kill. So MYM dropping 2 in exchange for 1. Probably still worth it because they took down Regen, but now Bro Strike, Blink from Quicks, plus a Dream Coil, only onto Techno Boy, however. He's going to walk out of this, or try to walk out of this. It's going to be close, still taking poison damage, entangled by the bear. The bear is going to take down the Queen of Pain. What lucky entangle from Balsam. Now Calculus is going to phase shift out of that last Spiderling inject. Waga, is he going to keep chasing this? Calculus is going to try to Illusory Orb out of here. He's going to kill off all the spiders, but now he's in a little bit of a rough situation. Does have mana to teleport out of here. Wagamama, with a lot of movement speed, is going to try to close the gap. Calculus is actually going to dip down, and he's going to go into the secret shop. And he's going to be fine, I feel. Unless he runs into the Venomancer, but even then the Venomancer, oh, it's going to be close. Now the Calculus sees the Venomancer, it's not going to happen. Plague Wards, get the kill, Plague Wards. Oh, Avalanche from Regen. I was there on the camera because I knew that was going to happen, guys. Regen, he dropped really early, but he got 1 kill out of that. Plus, he did a lot of damage, but really, it was all about that Sonic Wave. They lined up perfectly with that Sonic Wave. Really, this game is boiling down to who's lining up for what. Quicks is going to take a little bit of damage from the Queen of Pain. She's going to go for a point booster, so that's going to be an Aghanims in the works, most likely. Probably not a Bloodstone, although that is an option for her. So, both these guys, both these teams, they really got to stop lining up. And, okay, I miss a solo kill on Chen. That's why you don't mess with Tiny. You need ward coverage for Tiny, because he will mess you up, especially if you are a level 7 Chen. That is what Tiny's feed upon. Queen of Pain is going for as much burst as she could possibly go for, like Dagon plus a cooldown reduction on Sonic Wave. That's pretty much, yeah, it's a lot of burst coming out from her. A lot of burst coming out from pretty much all of Skane's Elite's heroes, really. Broodmother is going to be going for that more carry-oriented role. Already packing a Yasha. Probably going to turn that into a Manta style and go for a full push. Quick's going to Blink Burst Strike in. Sentry Ward gets dropped as well. Ice Path is going to hit onto the Wagamama. She's taking a lot of damage, but it will be enough. Yes, it will be. Dream Coil gets dropped for the Broodmother kill, and it does happen. But in the meantime, the mid lane, Lone Druid drops to the Tiny once again. Fishbone's going to take a little bit of damage as he tries to escape out of that. But the smoke up, Calculus, and Quicks, they're going to get a Burrow Strike plus an Ice Path onto Regen, taking a lot of damage. Regen is silenced, unable to cast anything, and he's going to drop to the puck as he drops into a giant pile of pebbles. But now Fishbone's in a little bit of danger. Quicks has a blink in 1 second. Blink Burrow is going to get... Oh, no, what? Why? Why Quicks? Blink Burrow would have been the kill, just guaranteed, but a little bit out of range. Sometimes shit happens. This is turning into quite a slugfest. So many trades all over the map. The thing for MYM is that their trades are not turning out well for Balsam. He's usually the one being traded. Granted, Tiny is also dying pretty frequently, but he's also getting kills. The only kill that Lone Druid has, he only has 1. That was the Queen of Pain over here with the luckiest entangle in the world. Skane's Elite, I do believe they're getting a little bit ahead as far as these trades go, because who are the kills going on? They're going on to Tiny, they're going on to Queen of Pain. And who are they getting the kills on? Well, pretty much Lone Druid. That's all you need to get the kills on. Chen as well, not really a huge factor in this game. He's already behind, and he's not going to catch up anytime soon. That's just not how Chen works. So Chen is essentially just as strong as his creeps at this point. Can't really offer up a huge amount of scaling there. Quicks is going to teleport. And the hell was that toss? But Wagamama and Regen trying to get a kill there. Broodmother, as I said before, is going to go for that Manta style, so she wants to go for full push. Waga is not leaving this lane anytime soon. Usually Broodmothers do go for something like a BKB or an Orchid or really any of that, but going for Ring of Aquila after Strength Treads and then getting a Yasha really signifies that Pulse want this Broodmother to be playing that hard carry role. Because Regen, I mean, he could carry decently. It's Tiny, and once he gets the stick, he's going to be hitting like a truck. He already is hitting like a truck, honestly. He has level 2 grow, 200 damage a pop. And he's going to go for Yasha. I really don't like it when people do this. Yasha doesn't offer all that much to Tiny. Just go straight for the Aghanims. Get the Tree Branch. At least you get a Ogre Club in that mix. Waga is going to help out Regen in doing the damage. Push onto this top lane tower. MYM, they want to defend this illusory orb flying out from Puck. Going to clear off a lot of the spiders, going to get him a lot of gold. That's a blink dagger for the Puck. So that Dream Coil is pretty much guaranteed to land. And with the Dream Coil in the epicenter as well, Skane's Elite, they got to watch out from this long-range initiation from MYM. Where is Balsam? Balsam, not yet at his relic, 19 minutes in. Does he even want to go for that? It might be beneficial for him to just say screw it and go for something like a Cuirass. That could actually help his team, whereas right now, even if he does get a relic, it's going to be like, what, 21 minutes? If he gets a Radiance, it's going to be 23 minutes. It's going to take quite a long time for that to happen. Waga narrowly dodging that ice path, and he's going to send his Spiderling straight into this tower. He really wants this. There's the Edict, and it's going to get brought down. At's even getting a little bit of trouble. Here comes the epicenter, though. It's only onto Balsam. Regen, I'm sorry. Regen's taking a lot of damage. He's going to burn to death in the Macropyre, but Quicks is now in a little bit of trouble. He's going to drop as well. Dream Coil holding out Fishbone as the Chen comes in for the Test of Faith. MYM dropping 2 in exchange for 2. Once again, a numerically even trade, but this time goes the way of MYM because they did take out the Tiny. And that's why I don't like Yasha. The Yasha doesn't give you any health. And Tiny is a pretty bulky character. Like, look at his strength. That's pretty huge. Plus a point booster and drum of endurance on top of that. But Yasha, you only get it for the movement speed. Attack speed is not really an issue yet because he's not really relying on his attacks quite yet. Later on, when he gets his tree branch, then that's when the attack speed comes into play. That's when you get something like a Cuirass and really go to town with that tree branch. But at this point, Yasha, I feel, is just a complete waste of gold. I honestly don't know why people get it at this point in the game when they could instead go for some better attack speed, honestly. Movement speed isn't that much of an issue. I mean, Tiny already moves pretty darn quickly. And it's not like chasing is a problem for him. Chasing hasn't really been a problem for him this entire game. Really, just surviving has been the main concern for him. Techno Boy on this perch is looking towards Calculus on the mid lane. Calculus is going to narrowly dodge out the Gale. No, he actually got hit by it. Dagon as well. Calculus is going to take a lot of damage, but Mini is getting tanked. Tanking everything that Rise has to offer. Is he going to survive Tornado? Not going to be enough. Techno Boy has picked up Calculus, and now Waga has arrived to the fight, going to get himself an assist there, but Queen of Pain does get another double kill. Now she's going to have her Aghanim Scepter fly out to her. Going to be very short on mana, however, because, you have an extra 180 mana spell to cast. And she doesn't exactly have that much mana regeneration. She doesn't have any, really. It's all just the intelligence that she's getting. But 2 drop for MYM. This is going to signify to Pulse that they do have an option to do something here. Regen, unfortunately, used his entire... Oh no, Quicks! Burning a lot of the epicenter in the trees. Might not matter, though, because Regen is probably going to drop to this. The tower shots plus the Dream Coil will do him in. Quicks, very low HP, going to get taken down by the Venom Mancer, and Techno Boy in a rough position now. Going to blink out of there, dodging the dual breath. And MYM, they lose the Sand King, but they get the Tiny once again. Tiny constantly dying, and that's really something that Skane's Elite cannot afford to have happen. They do have the Broodmother as kind of like secondary carry insurance. Combine that with the fact that Balsam really doesn't have that much. What does he have? He has a Hyperstone, so he is going to go for a Cuirass. But really, this Tiny has to stop dying. He's finally going to start heading towards his Aghanim Scepter, but I don't know. If anyone can tell me why Yasha is better than getting straight Aghanim Scepter, then please let me know. Because right now, pretty much every game I've seen, they go for the Yasha and then it doesn't really do much for them. Like, you saw how much movement speed he had. He kept up with the Jakiro so easily, but then he just died. Because movement speed will not save you forever. Techno Boy and Mini trying to push down this bot lane, but the Puck does have quite a few tricks up. I don't know if it's a his or her. It's a topic of discussion. Puck has a lot of tricks up Puck's sleeve. And, ooh, that stack is pretty sizable. Mini is going to go for a mech, so he's going like full-on support. Usually you don't see that kind of build from Leshrac. Let's see if he wants to go for some lightning. Probably not. He's instead going for stats, so he's going for a pretty standard there. Techno Boy, what is he going to go after this? The Dagon, I mean, like, he got him 1 kill at least, and it's doing a little bit of damage on top of that. But I don't really feel like it has been all that effective for him. I mean, he has 8-2, so that's a pretty good score. Yeah, I'm sure the Dagon worked his way in, but not really. The Sonic Wave and Scream of Pain is usually enough for Queen of Pain's to subsist. And interestingly enough, this Queen of Pain just completely skipped Shadow Strike. I mean, I can understand not skilling it against the puck just because it's so easy to dodge it with the phase shift. But at a certain point, it's like, well, don't you want to get a slow? Don't you kind of want that? I guess the reasoning behind that is that Techno Boy does not want to have that extra mana cost. There's 140 mana that, quite honestly, he can't afford yet. He's going to go for an Orchid, it looks like, unless that's a Refresher, in which case he definitely can't afford it. But it's most likely going to be an Orchid, try to get that silence on the Sand King or the puck. Hell, even the Jakiro is quite a big problem at this stage in the game. Once he gets that, he'll have a little bit more mana generation, but usually the classic build is the Sheep. So this Queen of Pain is going for a very peculiar build. Fishbone, he's got to watch out in this mid lane. He does have a gem, so he really doesn't want to lose that. He's not aware of the enemies that are on the high ground. Fishbone, you got to leave right now. Blink Burrow Strike from Quicks, plus Calculus going to blink in as well. Fishbone is going to get slowed down by the Penitence and explodes in a shower of blood. The gem is on the floor. Quicks wants it. Rise wants it. Quicks is going to get it, though. There we go. Rise has a mech, and, well, he does have enough to push down this mid lane. This Tier 1 tower is still untouched. Wow. Good job, Skane Elit, at defending your towers. This tower is still going to remain alive as Techno Boy on the bot lane, plus Waga on the top lane, been pushing frickin' everywhere. And MYM, they simply cannot do what they want to do. Teleportation, as Mini gets tossed in, it's a Leshrac grenade, gonna go straight for Atsy, bringing him down. Puck does phase shift out of that, but Techno Boy is there to follow. Oh, the Dagon, not enough. Not enough time to burn the Sonic Wave either. So Puck just narrowly escapes, but hell, using Leshrac as a grenade, you don't see that every day just because Leshrac is so fragile, but when MYM, they're on the run, they're not going to turn around and fight after that. So good recognition there, and that is going to give Tiny his Aghanim Scepter. 855 on him. Gold per minute is being held pretty firmly by the Skane Elit squad. Let's see how the XP per minute looking exactly the same. And now Tiny is going to be a pretty giant threat. I mean, that cleave is pretty substantial. What exactly does it give? It was just cleave, granting a cleave attack range. Oh, damage versus buildings also. I keep on forgetting that. I'm like, I know it gives him more range, I know it gives him cleave, but yeah, damage versus buildings. I once saw a game, I think it was Luminous casted it. It was just Tiny Wisp in Dota 1, and they just like relocated right here, and then they just killed all of this. It was awesome. But anyway, now Tiny, now that he does have that big stick up, he's going to look towards level 16. This is going to give him that level. And with 300 damage a pop, this Tiny is now looking for flat attack speed. Really, Yasha isn't that much attack speed. What is it? 31% attack speed? I don't know about that. I'd rather just go for a Hyperstone. Because Yasha is pretty much the same price as a Hyperstone, actually. Isn't it? I don't want to do math. Yeah, it is pretty much the same price. So a little bit less attack speed, a little bit more movement speed. In my opinion, not worth it at all. The score stands right now 20-17. The gold advantage vastly in favor of Skane Elit, actually. Mostly because they have control of still 5 of their outer towers. The experience earned is going to follow. They do have a little bit more map control just because, well, MYM, they're kind of scared to leave the base. The only ones to have left Calculus on the puck, who quite frankly could live through anything at this point, unless Calculus doesn't see him. Split Earth and Blink Dagger, he's going to be fine. Oh no, Blink Dagger's cancelled. Illusory Orb's still there, and support is coming in. There's a 2-man Dream Coil as Quicks comes in with a huge epicenter onto Mini and Fishbone. They're both going to live, however, because of that mechanism. Mini still standing and fighting, going to get brought down eventually by the Chen. Technoboy still standing as well. Gonna have to blink out of this, however. Gonna get a Dagon snipe onto Quicks before he does leave. Fishbone coming in, swiping up that gem. Gonna get hit by the Illusory Orb. No, it's gonna be the Waning Rift that does it. Technoboy trying to bottle up and get back into this fight, as we do have Region coming in hot. He's gonna go for anyone he could find. Not gonna find anyone except for Atsy, and Technoboy already could deal with him. Sonic Wave off cooldown already. Gonna get him that kill, so 2 for 2 this time. And it's a fairly even trade once again. And these like support-oriented heroes both got brought down. Technoboy did get a lot from that. That's going to give him his Orchid. But also Pulse, they did get a tower. And Waga on top lane, a little bit of trouble actually. Should be fine, however. Bring this tower down to half HP, and Region hitting this tower with all the force of a mountain. And this tower is going to get dropped. One more hit. 3 more hits. Oh, come on, Tiny. Come on. You gotta do that. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted to do. But Tiny now is gonna go for a BKB, it looks like. If that's Sanjin Yasha, I'm gonna be sad, because that's just a horrible item on Tiny, quite honestly. Unless he's feeling so secure in this game that he's just gonna go for it anyway. In which case, major props. But of course, I will never find out. Wagamama continuing to stick onto this top lane. He's constantly forcing one or two from MYM to be there. Jakiro can handle the Broodmother pretty decently by himself, at least the Spiderling pushing. Once the Broodmother has had enough of those dual breaths, he can just close in, and once he lands a single point of incapacitating bite on the Jakiro, Jakiro's dead. I mean, Ice Path, you have a chance of hitting that, but if Wagamama is on point, then he will not get caught off by that. He's going to try to instead go for this puck, phase shift, will give him enough time to blink out of there. It's really hard to land a bead on this puck. And Wagamama now might be in a little bit of trouble. Atsi plus Quicks plus Rise. If a Blink Burrow Strike hits, he's going to die, but Waga is very far away. He smells something coming, and he's not going to fall for it. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, Technoboy still pushing this bot lane. Tower is actually still alive. It could be denied. Sonic Wave going to fly out, hit Balsam, but a first hit Entangle, of course, onto Technoboy. It's going to weaken him quite a bit. Regen and Mini, in the meantime, bringing down Roshan. I think Technoboy just burned all of that, trying to make MYM think that they are trying to clear off all the waves as quickly as possible just because they want to push. But instead, it is going to be a Roshan attempt, not going to be successful. They are forced to fall back. They do have vision now of Rise. What's the vision button? There's the vision button. Oh my god, I'm missing everything. Calculus drops, Atsi drops, and I don't know how to turn the vision back. There we go. Let's go to his Elite. Wagamama just getting a solo kill on that Jakiro, I believe. Yeah, he did get a solo kill. Exactly what I was talking about. Wagamama forced to pop off that BKB charge and run out of there. But he's just being such a nuisance. I mean, it doesn't even matter if he has to use that, honestly. I mean, of course, he would rather not. But still, Broodmother is not leaving this lane. She has unlimited mana, she has unlimited regeneration, and this tower is just slowly getting whittled down. In the meantime, his entire team, they're going for Roshan. And once Regen gets a double life, well, they could split push the top and bottom lane like nobody's business. And then MYM, they're going to have to make a choice. Who do they want to put on this top lane? I do feel like Jakiro is going to be the most valuable, the easiest hero to deal with Wagamama, if not the Sand King. But really, they need all the heroes that they can get in order to deal with this four-man push that's coming onto this bot lane. Tiny now has a BKB, and he's just going to clear the creep wave in 2 hits and a toss. That's pretty easy stuff right there. It looks like Atsi is going to be the choice of MYM to hold this top lane while the rest of his team holds the bot lane. Thing is, though, we've already seen how well Atsi does against this Broodmother. Not very well at all. Calculus in the middle of everything. Going to get a 2-man Dream Coil in the spot lane. Mini and Technoboy, well, they're both going to take a stun, or at least one of them is. Epicenter is going to go off onto Regen. Regen's going to lose his Aegis right here, doing everything he can before he goes down. Fishbone going to unleash his ultimate, plus a Sonic Wave, going to bring down Balsam. And here comes Regen back once again. He's going to miss that first hit onto the puck, and now he pops up his BKB. Unfortunately, a little bit wasted, but now the Raxes are in danger. The huge hitting power from Tiny is going to bring this down. Waga on the top lane has brought down the tier 3 tower, plus the Raxes are very weak there as well. MYM, they got to defend somewhere, but without that Lone Druid, they don't really have any damage, even though the Lone Druid, well, Lone Druid didn't have anything either, so they just don't have any damage on their team at all. The mid Raxes have, the top Raxes have gone down, the melee Raxes to the Broodmother. Tier 3 in the mid lane is going to fall as well. Quick's going to get a 2-man Burrow Strike, try to get out of there as well, tossing the Venomancer forward to Calculus, just doing a little bit more damage there. Willie took over to this Orchid. Oh, 6 HP, it does do it with the poison damage. So that Venomancer grenade actually worked out because of the poison, but in a matter of a minute, Pulse move in, surgically take out all of the Raxes of MYM, and with no damage coming out from any of them besides their flat values, which were all, by the way, wasted onto Regen because of that Aegis. MYM now are going to be up against Mega Creeps, and they cannot hold against Mega Creeps. They don't have any damage. What does Balsam have? He has an Assault Cuirass 30 minutes into the game. That is not enough, especially when Tiny has a big stick. Waga is going to close right in for Balsam, pop off the BKB, and really, he can kill anything he wants. Of course, he's going to choose to hit all of them equally, which is fair enough. Quicks is going to get brought down once again. Mini taking a lot of damage from the Maxwell Power plus Dual Breath. Regen, though, still sitting in the middle of everything. Not the most attack speed on him. And toss the Lone Druid away. And the cleave. Will it be enough? Please, double kill. Oh, damn it. Really want to see that Tiny kill 3 people in one swing. But Mega Creeps are pouring in. Wagamama just buys back. goes straight for the Raxes, for the tier 4s, I'm sorry, the Rax is already down. But MYM, the fact that they had no farm in this lone druid meant that they cannot last into this late game period. Once Tiny gets big, once the Broodmother gets big, MYM simply cannot contest with that. So if they got a little more farm on that lone druid, things would have looked extremely differently. But that's what happens when you land a lone druid on the bot lane. Sometimes things just don't go well for them. And even though the epicenters were pretty darn good, the dream coil's decent as well, flat values can only take you so much, especially once the BKBs start coming out. So thanks for watching, guys. Pulse, or Skane's Elite, Pulse from now on. Pulse versus MYM from the Starseries Season 3 LAN event. This one does go to Pulse with a Dagon Queen of Pain. Who would have thought?